Beloved, understand this truth: life does not respond to chance, it responds to command. The world calls it luck, but the spiritually awakened call it divine law in action. What you dare to declare with faith, heaven rushes to perform. There is no lottery outside of you. You are the living magnet that either draws fortune or repels it by doubt, fear, and idle words. Do not beg the universe for your win. Command it through alignment. For what you command in love, in certainty, in divine authority cannot be denied. The one who believes before receiving has already received. Say now within yourself, I am not waiting for luck, I speak, and luck obeys. For luck is not random. Luck is simply the moment when your inner word meets outer manifestation. What others call chance is only the boomerang of their spoken decree. They speak fear, and misfortune returns. The awakened speak certainty, and fortune bows. Today, I give you a decree that only the 1% of spiritually aware souls dare to speak, not in desperation, but in dominion. Be divine right. The doors of unexpected money swing wide for me. What is mine by spiritual law now appears without delay. I am guided to my winning moment, and my winning moment is guided to me. Nothing can block what God has ordained. I speak it, and so it moves toward me now. Let these words not be spoken lightly. Do not scatter them with doubt. Speak them as one who already holds the ticket of triumph in hand. See yourself already celebrated. See your name aligned with abundance. Feel the universe rearranging itself quietly, swiftly, with precision, simply to match your inner command. For divine supply is never late, never limited, never confused. It does not wonder how, it simply obeys the voice of faith. When you speak with certainty, the invisible organizes the visible. The number you need, the ticket you choose, the moment you stand, all align like a divine lock clicking open to its rightful owner. Say within, I am the rightful heir of unexpected winnings. Fortune knows my name. My ticket is guided by divine intelligence. I do not chase luck. Luck is summoned by my word. Bless every moment with expectation. Declare over your ticket, over your wallet, over your very breath. Divine favor is upon me, and what belongs to me cannot pass me by. And as Florence would say, there is no competition on the spiritual plane. Your win does not take from another. It simply reveals what was already yours in the ethers. You are not asking, you are claiming. Now place your hand over your heart and seal it with this final word. Under grace, in perfect timing, the wind that bears my vibration of faith now appears. It is done. It is done. It is so it is. The world calls it chance when fortune appears, but there is no such thing as coincidence in a universe governed by law. What people name luck is only the outer echo of an inner decree. Life does not scatter blessings, it responds directly to the tone of your spirit. When a man walks in doubt, the world mirrors uncertainty, but when he stands in silent assurance, fortune begins to lean in his direction. You will notice that those who win are often those who carry an unseen confidence, a quiet authority, as if the world has already agreed with them before the result appears. This is not arrogance. This is spiritual posture, a state where the soul has already taken possession before the hand reaches out. The masses wait for a sign before they believe, but the spiritually awakened believe, and then the sign appears. That is why so few tap into this current. They move by what their eyes see, but true manifestation is born in the invisible. Before a single number is drawn, before a ticket is purchased, the real win has already taken place in the realm of thought and word. There is a moment when the heart whispers, "It is done," and in that moment, the door swings open in silence. The ignorant call it luck, the wise call it divine law fulfilling its own command. When you shift your posture from hoping to knowing, from waiting to owning, your vibration changes. The universe does not understand begging, but it bows to certainty. Heaven moves for the soul that speaks with calm dominion, not emotional desperation. You are not trying to get something. You are aligning with what already exists for you in the unseen. It is already written, already formed, and your faith acts as the bridge. So stand today not as a seeker of fortune, but as a rightful heir of divine supply. Say within yourself, not with strain but with spiritual poise, I walk in favor. What belongs to me will find me without struggle. The moment this awareness anchors in your spirit, unseen forces begin to rearrange themselves in your favor. And as we move forward, you will see how even the simplest object, a ticket, a number, a moment, becomes charged with power when touched by a decree spoken in pure faith. Just as the posture of the spirit determines the flow of fortune, so too does the spoken word charge the material world with power. A lottery ticket in the hands of the doubtful is nothing but a scrap of paper, but the moment it comes under the authority of a spoken decree, it becomes something far greater. It shifts from being a ticket of chance to a vessel of commanded outcome. Matter is obedient to the spirit, it has no will of its own. It simply mirrors the vibration impressed upon it. The outer world is clay, and your word is the sculptor's hand. You must understand, the win is not hiding inside the numbers. It is hiding inside your vibration, and your words are the activators. When you speak over a ticket with certainty, it becomes marked in the unseen. You are not trying to convince the universe, you are signing your claim in spiritual ink. Many buy, pray, and hope, but they do not speak from authority. They speak from fear, from longing, from the energy of, I wish. And so the object in their hand remains ordinary, untouched by divine fire. But when a soul declares, this ticket aligns with divine favor under grace, the atoms of that paper begin to resonate differently. You can feel the quiet shift. Not because the ticket holds power, but because your word has awakened it. Florence Scovel Shinn would say, you do not put your faith in the thing. You put your faith in the law working through the thing. The ticket is not the source. It is merely an instrument. It is your decree that directs the law through it. So when you hold that ticket, do not clutch it with anxious hands. Bless it. Speak life into it. Release it with calm dominion, knowing that the law now travels with it. Say softly but firmly, this is now a point of contact for my divine appointment. God cannot fail, and therefore, my alignment cannot miss. And once your word is spoken, do not speak against it again. Let your tongue be disciplined, for a single statement of doubt can unravel a decree of power. The moment your word and your object unite in faith, you step into the current of alignment. And as we progress, we will unveil how the true 1% live, not waiting for signs, but creating them through spiritual speech sealed in unwavering trust. Most people wait for proof before they dare to feel victorious, but the spiritually disciplined know that proof is the final echo, not the origin. The world has trained the masses to react, but the divine teaches the awakened to declare before seeing. That is the secret posture of the 1%. They step into the vibration of celebration before the world presents them with a reason. They do not wait for the winning announcement to feel the thrill of triumph. They rejoice in advance, and that rejoicing becomes the magnet that pulls the win into form. A heart that celebrates before receiving is a heart that has already claimed its place in the unseen. There is a difference between hoping and knowing. Hope carries a tremor of uncertainty, but knowing walks with relaxed assurance, as if the outcome is no longer in question. This inner calm is not laziness, it is spiritual authority at rest. It is the same calm that a king carries when he signs a decree. He does not wonder if his word will be carried out. He speaks, and it is done. The world may mock those who rejoice ahead of time and call it delusion, but what they call delusion, heaven calls faith in motion. The 1% who understand divine law do not wait for physical confirmation to shift their vibration. They become the celebration, and the world must align with that frequency. Florence Scovel Shinn said, praise precedes the miracle, for praise is the sound of a soul that has already received. So before the numbers are drawn, before your ticket is scanned, take a moment and feel the energy of victory moving through your body. Do not force excitement. Let it rise from a place of knowing. My name is already written on divine favor. I enter this moment as a winner, and the physical world will simply catch up to my decree. When you walk, walk like one who is chosen. When you speak, speak like one who has already crossed the threshold. This is not pretending. This is alignment. When your inner world moves into certainty, the outer world loses all resistance. For manifestation is not a battle, it is a match. And as we continue, You will understand how divine favor is not earned by effort or desperation, but activated through this very posture of celebrated faith, calm, and command. Divine favor is not a reward for struggle, it is a frequency that responds to alignment. The human mind has been conditioned to believe that one must earn, qualify, or toil endlessly for blessings, but the Spirit operates by an entirely different law. Heaven does not move because of strain, it moves because of spiritual agreement. When the soul says with unwavering calm, "It is mine by right of divine law," the universe responds, not because of effort, but because the decree was spoken from authority, not hope. Many speak affirmations with tension in their voice, trying to convince life to bless them, but their very tone reveals that they have not yet believed what they speak. They speak from longing, not dominion. But listen closely. True manifestation is not loud. It is not frantic. It is not desperate. It is quiet, deliberate, and absolute. The most powerful prayer Florence Scovel Shinn ever taught was not filled with dramatic emotion. It was filled with certainty. Firm, simple, unwavering certainty. When you activate divine favor, you do not chase signs. You become the sign. You do not plead with God. You stand in your inheritance. The spiritually rich do not say, "Please let this be my moment." They say, "This moment is already aligned for me under grace." There is a vast difference between those two statements. One carries fear. The other carries royal authority. Divine favor does not require you to push, it requires you to recognize. Recognition is the highest form of faith. It is not asking, it is seeing. Seeing what? Seeing that the universe cannot withhold what is already yours in the unseen. What matches your vibration must meet you. What bears your spiritual signature cannot be assigned to another. So instead of praying with anxious repetition, speak once with absolute clarity and then enter rest. Let your spirit rest in the knowing that the law is now moving, assembling the right moment, the right alignment, the right configuration. There is no competition on the spiritual plane. What is yours cannot be taken, delayed, or diverted. The world may call it luck, but you will know it as divine precision, delivering to you exactly what your aligned decree summoned. And now, we step into the final awareness, where ownership becomes destiny, and what carries your vibration by decree cannot pass you by. When divine favor is activated, you no longer look outward wondering if your blessing will arrive. You understand that it is already marked with your name in the unseen realm. What is aligned with your spiritual decree carries your signature of vibration, and once marked, it cannot be claimed by another, for the universe does not distribute by chance, it distributes by resonance. It is not the fastest, the luckiest, or the most desperate who receive. It is the one who has spoken with authority and then stood still in trust. Florence Scovel Shinn would say, "You cannot lose what belongs to you by divine right." This is not merely a comforting phrase, it is a spiritual law. The moment you speak your decree and release it with certainty, an invisible tag is placed upon that manifestation. It begins to move through time, through circumstance, through invisible channels, making its way to you without confusion or competition. No matter how many people stand in the same line, hold similar tickets, or speak similar prayers, the one who speaks with dominion claims the vibration that seals their outcome. Do not look sideways. The spiritually mature never measure their destiny by what happens to others. They do not compare panic or fear missing out, because they understand that the law customizes its delivery. Your manifestation is personal. It does not need to push through crowds or fight its way to you. It glides. For what is yours recognizes you. It knows your tone, your decree, your faith. It is drawn to you like iron to a magnet, not through force, but through alignment. So instead of asking, "Will it come to me?" speak as one who knows. What carries my decree travels to me with precision. I release all fear of delay or loss, for my blessing is identified and sealed. Feel the relief of that truth. Let your spirit unclench. Manifestation is not a race. It is a rendezvous between your decree and its appointed moment. And when that moment arrives, you will not be surprised. You will feel a quiet recognition deep within. You will know. This did not come by chance. This came by law. This came by vibration. This came because I spoke, and heaven recorded my claim. And now, with this knowing anchored in your soul, you are prepared to step into the final seal, the closing decree that locks in your manifestation with unshakable authority. And now, having spoken truth with authority and aligned our spirit with divine law, we stand not as seekers but as receivers. The unseen has heard every decree, and the substance of our word is already taking shape. We do not chase, we attract. We do not wait in fear, we stand in recognition. The wind that carries our spiritual imprint is already moving toward us, steady, guided, and unconfused. So we seal this journey with one final word, spoken not with striving, but with quiet dominion. Be divine right and under grace, my appointed moment of fortune cannot pass me by. The law goes before me, aligning every detail. I am ready, I am willing, I am positioned. What is mine recognizes me and I recognize it. The shift is complete. The manifestation is sealed. It is done. It is done. Let the soul now rest in certainty, for rest after a decree is the highest proof of faith. We do not watch the clock. We do not analyze the how. We do not question the timing. We simply walk in the energy of already done. And as we walk, the world begins to rearrange itself to mirror our inner completion. So step forward now, not as a hopeful participant in chance, but as a divine commander of outcome. You have spoken, the law has received, heaven has recorded your vibration, and the physical world must now reflect it. And so, with unwavering calm, we leave this moment with our declaration echoing in the ethers. Fortune knows my name, favor knows my path, my win is sealed, and so it is.